See, I mean, losing that game at home, and first of all, Vegas had that nailed, Matthew, because Georgia was a 2.5 point underdog at home
Yep.
against Alabama, who had just got 2 weeks ago got crushed by Florida State. So Vegas had this game. Vegas figured this thing out. I just don't think they're that great. I'm not going to lay 19 and a half. You can't bet Kentucky. They haven't beaten anybody. So anybody want to pick this game, or are we all giving it the deep picks?
I think I would pick Georgia to win, but Kentucky will cover. That's just far too many points.
All right, let's move on. Here's a game that I love: Iowa State at Cincinnati. Another Big 12 game. I have been very lucky this year with Iowa State. I've bet them, I think, every week. I think I've only lost one bet, maybe. And so again, they're going to Cincinnati. I mean, Iowa State, they played in Dublin, right? They won that game. They're a very good team. They're very seasoned. They go to Cincinnati. Why are they an underdog? Why is Cincinnati 1.5 favorite? This, to me, this game looks trappy. What do you think, Matthew?
Yeah, this is another game I have no interest in because I've been with you. I've rode Iowa State all year long. And the way that everything's panned out, I wouldn't say any of their wins are overly impressive. I mean, Iowa doesn't do anything for me. Kansas State obviously is underachieved. That being said, they have two elite cornerbacks. Both will miss the game today. And I do think Cincinnati has a competent offense. So at home with Sorsby slinging the rock around, Iowa State down a couple key defenders, it's something I have no interest in touching. If I had to pick, I'd honestly probably pick Cincy, just off the aspect of I think if the offense is hot, it could be a rough day for that Iowa State defense, but I have no interest in making a pick on this one.
All right, I'm going to go. I'm going to go as this is one of my best bets. I love Cincinnati here. I love them at home, and I love them because of the spread. Why are they a 1.5 point favorite at home over an Iowa State team that we watched week in and week out? They just put a blowout win last week. But this is, look, Iowa State has never been to Cincinnati. The Bearcats, they're sneaky good. I mean, they're one of these teams where they can jump on you fast. They got a really good offense. They got great receivers. They got a great quarterback. Iowa State's banged up. And this is the other thing. You know, you play Big 12 football. You go to Dublin. I mean, they're playing game after game against really good teams. They're doing good. All of a sudden, you know, you show up in Cincinnati. That's a tough stadium to win in. So I love the Bengals here. The Bearcats. Sorry, guys. I love the Bearcats here, -1.5. Vince?
Yeah, I wouldn't bet on this game. But if I were to, I think I have to lean a little bit towards Iowa State just because of the resume, maybe. Road wins are tough in any conference. Road wins in the Big 12 are very difficult. And obviously Cincinnati, I mean, that tells you right there, if they're only if they're a 1.5 point favorite against a very impressive Iowa State team, that probably tells you all you need to know right there, right? But a slight lean for me for Iowa State.
All right. Anybody want to weigh in here? Brendan?
This is a game that I'm probably going to stay away from as well. I'm leaning a little more towards Iowa State, but at the same time, I can't get over the fact that Cincinnati is a favorite. This does feel like it has trap game written all over it.
All right. Godzilla, best bet of the week, #1. Since Cincinnati will lay the 1.5, they win this game. Okay, let's go to Louisville at no, I'm sorry, wrong game. Where
Matthew's
are we?
team.
Clemson. Oh, that's right. Let's go to Clemson. Clemson at North Carolina. Clemson -13.5. Oh my God. 12 o'clock game. I love Clemson. I really do. I love your alma mater. I love the coach. I just don't get what they're doing. I don't think that I don't know. 13.5. Well, when do they ever cover? Right? So let's just start here with they don't. I mean, the idea that I'm going to lay 13.5 with Clemson on the road, I can't do it. What do you think, Matthew?
So I'm going to preface this with everybody's going to make fun of me, and I'm probably going to be disgusted with myself. That being said, Clemson doesn't cover. They've looked terrible. UNC's looked worse. And as miserable as this season has been, I mean, the talent discrepancy in this game is wide. If Clemson, after the bye, can just play 40% to the capabilities, I don't see how UNC keeps this game close. But I've also said that the last 2-3 weeks, so I'm going to regret it, but I'm pretty confident about Clemson 13.5. I think the rosters aren't even in the same playing field. I think Clemson's light years better. I think they had a bye to get situated, and I do think UNC is that bad.
Statler, Brendan Statler.
Yeah, I think Matthew said it perfectly. North Carolina just looks so bad this year. I have no problem with Clemson at 13.5. I think they do it today.
Coach?
Yeah, I think this is where I think probably Clemson breaks out the old whooping stick.
It's going to happen eventually.
It's got to happen, and I think
this was
is
a week 1 or week
scenario.
2 game, I'm pretty confident Clemson's 28.5. If the season hadn't unfolded like this, I'm pretty confident it's doubled.
What'd you call it?
And I think another thing too, Matthew, is I think the bettors kind of but Bill Belichick, defensive guru, but hey, we doesn't matter how good of a defensive guy you are if you don't have the talent in order to apply your defense.
At the end of the day,
you're gonna get spanked anyway. So
at the end of the day, it's the players that win games, and I think Clemson's been a little bit on the shortcoming side of coaching this year, but you had a bye to figure it out, and I think the talent gap is significantly too wide for this game to be anywhere close.
Okay, you guys are talking me into Clemson, so I'm going to go with Clemson. I got a lot of plays here. I'm going to go with Clemson minus the 13.5. Are we all on the Tigers minus the wood? Right, we're all on the Tigers. Okay, I tell you what else I'm on. little metro ride for me today. Ann and I going to Rosie's in Dumfries, right in Northern Virginia. Look, Rosie's all over the place. We love Rosie's Gaming. You have so much fun. Win money, have fun. Biggest jackpots, biggest payouts in Virginia. They're all over Virginia. They're in New Kent by Richmond. They're in Richmond. They're in Hampton Roads. And just went there when she was in checking one of our stations out in Norfolk. They're there. They're in Roanoke. They're in Vinton by Roanoke. They're all over the place. Danville, you name it, Emporia, they're there. Check Rosie's out. You have so much fun. Get the highest jackpots and the biggest payouts. Why? Well, because they have the lowest, I keep telling you this, they have the lowest take of any slot machines in the country. Why? Because that's what the General Assembly did in Virginia, because back then it was controlled by Republicans, and they want to give more money back to people. It's not a political statement, just true, right? So you get the biggest payout, the highest jackpots, plus it's a great atmosphere. Win money, have fun. Just go to rosiesgaming.com, rosiesgaming.com. Rosie's a founding sponsor of Godzilla Wins, and we thank Rosie's, and we thank Nate Mize, who is their VP of marketing, who has developed a different kind of a casino, because there's no smoke, there's just no nonsense, man. They have windows, very different. He bet on, I'm going to do things differently. I'm going to get a lot of different kinds of people in that don't like the pumping the oxygen and all that stuff they do. And he bet right, and it's a tremendously great experience. So, Nate, you're brilliant. And just go to rosiesgaming.com. That's rosiesgaming.com. You're good to go. Let's keep going here. Mississippi State Bulldogs at Texas A&M. Another big spread here. Aggies minus 15.5. Let's start with the old ball coach.
Yeah, this is I guess if you were saying there's a trap game, but this could be it for Texas A&M, but it is at home. Okay, so I think that's the saving grace there. If it were a road game, if they were traveling to Starkville, but they're not. And every win matters, right? Every win matters in the tough SEC. A lot of points, but I have to believe that Texas A&M is going to cover this game. Mississippi State is improved over last year, no question about it. They got, they beat. We talked before. I mentioned Arizona State. They took down Arizona State several weeks ago. But let's be honest, Arizona State, Texas A&M, two totally different rosters. Going Aggies in this one.
Brendan Statler.
Yeah, I love the Aggies in this one too. I'm going to take them at the 15.5. I think they get it done today.
Matthew Lumsden.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with them as well. I think a home game at Kyle Field, that's a huge difference maker. Part of this is also I'm banking on Mississippi State being a little flat after last week. I mean, that was a ball game that they honestly should have won. Tennessee was lucky to get out of there. It was a lot more competitive than I expected. They look good, and I'm hoping that they'll be a little bit down in the dumps this week.
So you're going with?
I'm gonna go with A&M. Not confidently, but I'd lean there.
Did we call on Vince yet?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. I lost my track. I love Texas A&M. This is my second best bet of the week. Mississippi State letdown game. They went toe to toe with Tennessee. Got beat at the end. Look, the Bulldogs are better than they were, right? And I actually, put some work in this game. A&M has faced. Not that I don't put work in all these games, but extra on this because it's one of my best bets of the day. The Bulldogs lost SEC games by 12, 19, 19, 33, 10, 10, 22, and 17 last season. So to me, laying 13, 14 and a half, whatever it is, I'm going to go with Texas A&M. I really think there's going to be a letdown game. I think there's going to be a blowout for them at home. Just like, getting back to the Clemson game, we forgot to mention this, guys. So they had a bye week last week, right? North Carolina. Now they're not a very good football team. You would agree with that? North Carolina?
Yes.
Bill Belichick took a week vacation. I'm serious. I'm not making this up. This is not like The Onion. On a bye week on a team that absolutely sucks, with a big ACC game coming up, he goes on vacation with his girlfriend or his fiance or whatever she is, and good for him. But what message does that send to your team? Like, I got a bye week and I'm going on vacation? I don't think Belichick is serious about coaching college football. I mean, do you think Lane Kiffin would go take his girlfriend or his wife or whatever she is, fiance, on a week's vacation when you've got Alabama coming up the next week? You have a bye week and you're getting your ass kicked. Unbelievable. It would be like if Rich Rod took his family on vacation next week for West Virginia. What would the reaction be? Are you kidding me? I mean, you're in the middle of the season. Unbelievable. Having said that, I love Texas A&M. Best bet number 2. I'm going with the Aggies minus whatever it is, 15. And this game is going to be tonight. Now, let's get to Penn State, who I picked against last week because Joe Franklin never wins a big game. But now he's playing at UCLA. Do they still have a football team, Vince?
Rumor has it they do. There will be more Penn State fans in the Rose Bowl today than there will be UCLA Bruin fans. Mark my word on that one. It will be a home game for the Nittany Lions. 24.5, a lot of points. Obviously now with the previous coach being terminated after week 3, Tim Skipper comes in. Tim Skipper is a very good college football coach. In fact, last year when he took over the Fresno State program about halfway through the year, and really, actually, I think he had the team the entire year as an interim coach. And a lot of people here in the Valley thought that Skipper should have gotten the job full time at Fresno State. However, okay, there's a reason why Chip Kelly left a couple of years ago. I think he saw the writing on the wall. You can't win at UCLA. It's a basketball and baseball school. That's it. And when your facility is so minimal on campus and you've got to drive 45 minutes to Pasadena to play your home games, it's not a recipe for success, long-term success. With that said, a lot of points, but boy, I think in this situation, how do you bet on UCLA? I don't think you can. You either bet on Penn State or you don't drop any money at all on this one.
Well, they are, what are they, minus 25. I mean, they're on the road. I mean, if you have to bet the game, lay the 25. This is not a big game. If it was a big game, Franklin would find a way to lose it like he loses all big games. But this UCLA is in such disarray. If you got to bet this game, lay the 25. I think by game time, it probably goes up to 27. Matthew?
Yeah. So no, I would actually like to talk to somebody that has watched UCLA a lot more than I have, because I do feel pretty good about either Penn State with the points or the under. Because I don't think UCLA is going to score. They lost by 25 to New Mexico. So if New Mexico can beat them by 25, Penn State should be able to, especially after last week, the heartbreaker against Oregon. I think that this is a game that they're going to come out a little bit angry. My only question is, what does Penn State do? Do they score the 40 points by themselves? If their offense is a little slow growing across the country, I'd lean the under, but I think I'm going to go with the spread. I mean, UCLA is abysmal. Penn State wants to make a statement after last week.
Can I piggyback off of that too?
Yes. Yes.
One thing too, and correct me if I'm wrong, you guys are East Coast guys, but I would imagine most teams, especially East Coast teams that roll into the Rose Bowl, it's a big deal for those teams, I bet. That would be my thought, that, hey, from as they were little kids watching the granddaddy of them all, the Rose Bowl, right, as a little kid, and all of a sudden they're in the Rose Bowl for the first time ever, even though there's only 25,000 people in attendance. I think the road teams get more fired up to play in the Rose Bowl than the UCLA Bruins do. That's just my take.
I would buy that. All right, guys, we got a couple more minutes. We got to roll. Wisconsin goes to Michigan. Michigan minus 18. Matthew?
I'm going to go with Wisconsin. I think Big Ten sloppy football. I'm not overly sure Michigan wants to win by 24. I'm going to go with Wisconsin on this one.
Brendan?
That's a tough one. I think I'm leaning a little towards Wisconsin. I'm just going to go straight money line on that.
Well, you're going to get about nine, or you're going to get 10 or 12 to 1. They're a 18-point underdog, so that's an interesting bet. I don't think they can match up. I'm going to take Michigan and lay the 19. Wisconsin is not a very good football team. Vince?
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Wolverines in the big house.
Yeah, this blowout. And I didn't give you my Penn State pick, minus 25, 26, 28. This score is going to be 52-7. So I'm going with Penn State. Okay, interesting game. Texas Tech goes to the Houston Cougars. Cougars are looking pretty good this season. Texas Tech 11. A lot of these spreads are getting big now. Texas Tech minus 12. Let's start with Matthew.
So yeah, this is one of the ones I like the most this week. I played it at 11 earlier in the week. I do really like Texas Tech. I think they're a good football team. I think that they turned it around. They bought into the NIL concept, and frankly, I'm not overly concerned about Houston. I think Tech is just a superior roster.
What do you think, Vince?
Yeah, going into the season, there was a lot of talk about Texas Tech and the amount of money they were spending in the NIL and the big oil tycoons in West Texas. And boy, they get better each week, don't they? It seems like every time you see Texas Tech, they just get better and better. Huge in-state rival against Houston. I think the Red Raiders roll in this one.
All right. Statler?
I love Texas Tech in this one. And by the way, John, I meant to say Michigan for that last game. I accidentally read Wisconsin, but I'm picking Michigan that game. I'm not that stupid. But anyway, I love Texas Tech in this one. I think it's going to be a blowout.
We're all over Texas Tech minus 12. Texas at Florida. Texas Horns minus 5.5. This is on ESPN today at 3:30. Vince?
How do you bet on Florida?
That's my.
I mean, granted, Texas has not been impressive, but other than the Ohio State game, they have won the rest of their games. I just don't see how. Just look at it this way: how do you bet on the Florida Gators? With that said, Longhorns.
Matthew Lumsden?
I think I'm leaning the under on this one because I'm with Coach. Florida looks pathetic. I mean, Lagway, I don't see him scoring against that Texas defense very often. But on the flip side, Arch Manning only looks good against Sam Houston State. And, I mean, that Florida defense they're still keeping Miami in check. They're keeping pretty good teams in check. I'm going the under on this one. I think it's going to be ugly and borderline comical to watch these quarterbacks.
Ugly. I can't bet Florida under any circumstances, any time. So I'm going to bet Texas and lay the 6. Who is my favorite game of the day? Vanderbilt at number 10, Alabama. Ooh, guys, Alabama's got let down all over it. Last year, they go into Nashville and Vanderbilt beats them. This year, Vanderbilt, a 14-point doggy in Alabama. Matthew?
Yeah, I'm seeing it. I want to make sure everybody's on the same. I'm seeing it at 11.5 right now, which makes me feel more confident with Bama. But I'm all over Bama. I think this is the letdown spot, which is exactly why it won't happen. I think DeBoer is smarter than that at this point. You get the big win between the hedges last week. You're back home. He loses this game. He might be fired before midnight. So I think they win in convincing fashion after losing to Vandy last year. If there's a game for them to be locked in, it's going to be this one.
I agree with Lumsden 1,000%. This is my third best bet. I love Alabama here. I think we're going to have a little beatdown going on, or as Coach said, get out the Clemson whooping stick or whatever that is. Coach, what do you think?
Yeah, I think this is not a letdown game just because Alabama got beat at Vandy last year.
Yeah.
I'd be willing to bet Alabama circled this on their schedule.
Oh, yeah.
We've got a rematch with Vanderbilt in Tuscaloosa. Roll Tide.
And you remember Pavia ran his mouth a little bit after that game last year. He found some new swagger after that game, and I'm sure Alabama's not going to forget about that one.
Definitely. That's why you win. I got a player in my family who says, you strike the guy out to get out of the inning. You walk back to the dugout.
Act like you've been there before.
Yeah, you walk back to the dugout. You sit down and you put your glove down and you shut up. That's his thing, and I agree with him. He's not out there pounding your mid and jumping up and down, spiking your glove. You go out there and be a professional, because that's what I do every day. Anyway, having said that, we got to get to the final game, even though we're a little bit over. Also, we got to hang here. And number 3, Miami, at number 18, Florida State. Miami -5. This is the marquee game of the day. And this is always a great game, Miami at Florida State. Let's start with the old ball coach.
Well, over the years, our youngins, us boomers can relate to this. It seemed like this was a marquee matchup every year, and it was always wide right for the Seminoles. Problem is, wide right's not going to cover 4.5. So I don't know. This one right here, golly, I want to say Miami. I'm going to go Florida State here. I just have a feeling. I just have a weird feeling about this one. I really do.
There's no way that I'm going to lay 4.5 at Florida State. This game is somebody's going to win this game in a field goal in the final seconds, just like they always do. This is what they always do. So,
or in the Seminoles case, a missed field goal.
So it's got to come down to the final 2 minutes, and so I'm going to take Florida State, and the 4.5. It's not a best bet for me. This is one of those bets where you take the points, you get a Grey Goose and club soda, you sit back, you enjoy the game. I'm going to enjoy this game, so I'm going to take the 4.5. Matthew.
I'm going to go starters a half unit on the over. I think Florida State can score, and that was pretty clear in Charlottesville. They can't stop anything. That also being said, I have stood on it for the last 3 weeks. I do think Miami is the best team in the country, and I'm going to go with them to get it done up there today.
Statler?
There's no way you cannot go with the U in this one. I mean, I think it's going to be more of a beatdown than people are anticipating.
All right. Well, we'll see what happens, guys. That wraps up. We got to go. We got to get out. That wraps up our college football segment. My best bets are Cincinnati, Texas Tech, and Texas Christian. Those are my 3 bets. We will see what happens. Number 4 would be Alabama. Betting all those games today. NFL. When we get back, we got to take a break. We got to fill our coffee and all that good stuff. Plus, we got to hear from our sponsors. All coming up. See ya at the Flip. NFL next.
West Virginia Sports Nation gives you a top-of-the-mountain view of the Mountaineers sports landscape. See what's happening in all the sports, far beyond football, basketball, and baseball. Gymnastics, track and field, rowing, swimming and diving, golf, volleyball, tennis. More sports, more stories. If the Mountaineers play the game, WVSportsNation.com has it covered. Up-to-date and insightful articles written by Mountaineers for Mountaineers Nation. WVSportsNation.com. WVSportsNation.com. WVSportsNation.com.
The best part about waking up in the morning is a great cup of coffee, and I get this every day with my 1775 coffee. It's rich, it's bold, Best tasting coffee I've ever had. Single origin, farmed in Bolivia, 7,000 feet. It's always fresh, roasted daily. This is the best coffee you're ever going to get. Go to 1775coffee.com, 1775coffee.com. Promo code Godzilla, 10% off. It's going to make your day every day.
You woke up with a sore throat and a low-grade fever. You know you are getting sick, so here's your choices. You can get sicker and miss work, try to see a doctor this week, or sit hours in a crowded waiting room at urgent care.
I have a smarter option for you. Open your medical emergency kit. Match your symptoms to doctor-recommended prescription in your booklet and take the right meds now and get well faster.
This is not a first aid kit. It's like having an urgent care in your home. It includes doctor-prescribed medications to treat over 39 medical issues like respiratory infections, strep throat, pneumonia, UTIs, and more.
No waiting to see the doctor and no standing in line at the pharmacy. It's right here.
Every home should have at least one medical emergency kit, and here's how to order.
Order online fast and save $45. Your kit with prescriptions to treat common and life-saving illnesses is rushed to your door. Visit twc.health/Godzilla. Promo code Godzilla. That's twc.health/Godzilla. Promo code Godzilla.
John Fredericks, your Godzilla of truth, fiercely independent.
No ties to Wall Street. I promote Main Street.
The John Fredericks Media Network, privately owned and operated, on top of the issues on air and online.
Trucking the truth every day for 14 years.
The John Fredericks Show drives your morning, weekdays 6 to 10 a.m. Eastern. The only independent White House correspondent with live reports from the White House. Hit JohnFredericksRadio.com. Watch at JFMN.tv. John Fredericks, your Godzilla of truth.
Who's going to stop me now?
Nobody.
Did you know that somebody could literally steal your house? Yeah, that is a thing that happens. It is when a criminal forges your signature on one document, uses one fake notary stamp, and then spends about $30, $40 with the county recorder. They then take out loans using your home equity as collateral. And the worst part of it is, you don't even know it's happening until you start getting collections and foreclosure notices. Most people don't check on their home title because why would you feel like you needed to? But this right here is why you need to use Home Title Lock. They have a $1 million triple lock protection that helps keep your home and equity safe. It includes 24/7 monitoring with protection immediately, urgent alerts in case there's any changes in your title. Then if fraud does happen, they have a US-based restoration team that will spend up to $1 million to fix the fraud and restore your title.
Find out if you're already a victim. Go to HomeTitleLock.com now.
John Fredericks, he's America's Godzilla of truth. All week long, he's world-renowned for his proficient proclivity to prophesy the people's political picks with pinpoint precision.
Yeah, baby!
Then, on the weekends, he gets with the guys that are pretty wise, and Godzilla wins. Godzilla Wins, the sports picking show for winning dough. Money lines, parlays, over-under, the best plays. You choose the game, Godzilla picks the winners. Get expert analysis, exclusive insights, and have a little fun. When the game is on your mind and money's on the line, Godzilla Wins is your guide to picking winners. Godzilla Wins, on the screens of your TV and favorite devices, commanding radio airwaves far and wide. Before you make that play, hear what the Godzilla crew has to say. Presented by West Virginia SportsNation.com, it's time for Godzilla Wins, all across the John Fredericks Media Network. Oh yeah.
For entertainment purposes only.
All right, you're back on Godzilla Wins. Great to have you. This is our time for NFL. Brendan Statler joining us with WVSportsNation.com, one of our senior contributors there, also part of the John Fredericks Media Network sales team in West Virginia. Matthew Lumsden, professional handicapper. This is how he makes his living. So he's giving you his picks for free, and he cashes a lot of tickets. That's why we love having him on. Try to follow his picks because this is what he does every day. Former ball player Clemson, and then the one and only Coach Vince Mayako, coach of one of the top JUCO teams in the West Coast at Taft College in Bakersfield, California, joining us as well. And I think we might have some other people coming in a little bit. Al, let me know when they're backstage, and we'll go from there. Plus, we're going to take your calls, 888-480-JOHN, 888-480-5646. We got picks coming out the wazoo. You already heard our picks for college. I'm going to have a great day today. Love Cincinnati. Love Alabama. That game keeps going down. Opened at like 13.5 down to 11.5. But and enough of that. We're going to get to the NFL. This segment brought to you by WVSportsNation.com. If you want to know anything about West Virginia sports at all, or West Virginia athletics, you've got one new site to go to, and that is WVSportsNation.com. Bookmark it. WVSportsNation.com. It is such a great site. Brendan's one of the writers. We got 8 writers. They're all fantastic. Ron, the CEO, is my son, Jack, getting his PhD from Arizona State University. Forks up, as they say. And he does a super job, as does all of our writers, and Jonathan Edwards as well, our associate editor. Just go to WVSportsNation.com. Bookmark that. And fresh content constantly. You're going to get all the write-ups. We just don't cover football and basketball and baseball. We do volleyball. We do rowing. We do wrestling. We do it all. WVSportsNation.com. You want to go there. Guys, let's get to the NFL. Let's skip the Thursday game because we're a little behind on time here. I want to get right to the first game of the morning. I guess it's in London now. Minnesota, ostensibly, they say Cleveland's this is a home game for them, but it's not. They're in London. But Minnesota's been there now 2 weeks. Cleveland's got to fly there. Minnesota -3.5. But this is a tough team to figure out, Vince.
Yeah, you know what, John? I got a bone to pick with you here. If the Titans would have won on Thursday night, we would have spent the next 15 minutes about how Cam Ward and the Titans have arrived, but that my 49ers, undermanned, no receivers, a quarterback that was in the garbage pile 2 months ago, goes in and shocks the Rams on Thursday night, and you just totally blow that game off? My goodness.
Good point. We'll talk about it.
Okay.
So
there we go. I got that off my chest.
The Rams got the ball. There's 57 seconds in the game, right? The Rams have the ball on the San Francisco half-yard line. Down by 3. This game's over, right? Tush push, Stafford, big guy, gets over the top. Game's over. They win. San Francisco gets the ball back down by 4 with 29 seconds to go. No timeouts. Game over. They fumble the ball on the goal line. And then 3 turnovers. I mean, how do you do that? Let's just somebody weigh in.
Well, I think the questionable call too would be on when they went for it on 4th and 1 in overtime. And I'm not saying I think going for it's the right answer, because if you kick the field goal, you still give the Niners an opportunity to kick a field goal and win it. So I'm not debating going for it on 4th down. But man, don't you find a way to get the ball to Nacua in that situation? Nacua Puka. I mean, I don't know. I mean, they just run a dive up the middle.
I thought the play
Fred
call,
Warner stuffs it. Game over.
I mean, the play call on 4th and 1 was ridiculous. It was a ridiculous play call.
Yeah.
I mean, if you do a quarterback sneak, I mean, Stafford's a huge guy. You win that game. I really didn't get that. They made the right call, no doubt. Matthew, you want to weigh in here?
No, I think they made the right call. I'm going for that 20 times out of 10. But I also am a believer of when I have Puka Nacua, like Coach said, you have Devontae Adams, you have Kieran Williams, who already has 8 receptions on the day. You have Matthew Stafford, who's one of the most arm-talented QBs of the last 25 years. Why are we not giving them the option? I mean, the play call was very questionable. But that being said, Mac Jones got his swagger back, and I freaking love it.
He got something back. I mean, he kept leading drive after drive after drive. I mean, this guy, remember, they were up 20-7 in the middle of the third quarter, right? So it's not like, there were 3 fumbles and they came back. I mean, San Francisco all banged up, but it doesn't matter how banged up they are. As long as you got this guy McCaffrey, this guy, I don't even think this guy's I think he's some kind of a robot. Vince. I don't think
McCaffrey and Shanahan. I mean, Shanahan shown it time and time again. Mac Jones was left for dead with my New England Patriots. It was abysmal to watch. And now you've got him out here freaking shoulders shrugging off D linemen. I mean, dude's playing with 3rd-string receivers, 4th-string receivers, and he's getting it done. Shanahan's a stud.
Yeah, and I think something else that we need to talk about with this San Francisco team, Yeah, the defense broke down a little bit throughout the game, but isn't this the second game now where they had their backs against the wall, about to lose the game, and the defense forced a turnover? Didn't they do this against Seattle as well?
Yeah, exactly.
That's 2 games. The defense is still for them.
Robert
I mean, even that fumble, like, I'm sitting there because I wasn't going to win the bet. They were 8.5, so I'd already lost the bet. So I'd taken a nap earlier in the night to watch it. But I'm in the survivor pool where you put money in, and if you lose one game, you're out. So you can't bet the same team twice. You can only bet against certain teams 3 times. You know how that goes. So I bet the Rams in my survivor pool. So I'm still rooting for them to win, even though I cannot cover. And I'm like, they got the ball in the 1. I'm like, you got 3 times to snap the ball to Stafford under center and push him over. There's no way you're going to stop that. 0 chance. And they hand the ball off and fumble it. What the hell is going on with that?
Yeah. I know we got to move on to more games here, but hey, eventually the 49ers are going to get healthy. And they're 3-0 in their division.
They're going to be dangerous.
They get a what they call a mini bye week, get some bodies rested. They have to go to Tampa Bay next week. That's going to be a tough one, obviously. But the light at the end of the tunnel for the 49ers, when they start getting these guys healthy, is very promising.
Agree with y'all. Okay, let's get to Minnesota and Cleveland in London. Minnesota minus 3.5. What do you think, Vince?
Yeah, I like your how you set that up, where Minnesota, it's their second week in Europe. So I think, and Carson Wentz looked pretty good last week. He really did. They may have upgraded a quarterback. I don't know. I was a JJ McCarthy fan, but man, other than that second half on that Monday night against the Bears, other than that second half, he has not looked good at all. Now he's hurt. And I think you got to go Vikings in this one.
Matthew?
No, I'm going Vikings. I'm going to buy it down to 3. Cleveland's sneaky with the defense, but there's no chance I'm going with a rookie quarterback against a Brian Flores blitz happy defense.
Yeah, I love that play, and I'm going to bet Minnesota, but I think I'm going to lay the extra 20 cents or like 15 cents, and get that down to 3. I like that bet. The fact that they've been there 2 weeks, I think is a huge advantage. Huge advantage, and it's tough to bet that Cleveland offense. It's just hard. It's just painful. So I'm with you on that. I like Minnesota. I'm going to buy it down to 3. Good bet. Brendan?
Yeah, I agree 100%. Minnesota has all the advantage. This is their second week in Europe. And Cleveland, once again, is having quarterback troubles. They haven't had an answer at quarterback since 99. There's no way you can pick Cleveland. This Minnesota, easy pick.
Okay. We all like Minnesota. Vegas at Indy minus 6.5. This is a very sneaky game. Okay. Vegas is not that bad. And we don't know if Indiana is that good, right? The Colts really should have won that game last week. That's when Stafford threw a 90-yard pass with like 18 seconds to go or something. I love betting on Pete Carroll. I love betting. I love what he done with Vegas, but the problem is I don't know how good the Colts are. Maybe they're really good, Vince.
Yeah, maybe they are. I mean, we keep waiting for their bubble to burst, but they just like every game, kind of like we talked about Texas Tech earlier, where it's like every game they play, they get better and you become more impressed with what you see out of Indianapolis. Flip side of that, I think Vegas is downgrading right now. I love Geno Smith. Okay, I love him. But man, I just don't see. Obviously I don't see him being their long-term quarterback. That's a given, but I just, I don't like Vegas in this one. I like the Colts.
Matthew, how does Pete Carroll stay in every game? I mean, they're in every game. How does he do that? Because he doesn't really have the roster for this.
No, I think it's just the game style and the experience. I mean, he's obviously a solid coach. That being said, their only win is against my Patriots, which, as most people know, that's not very impressive. They lost to a shorthanded Washington team. They lost to Chicago last week, who I love Ben Johnson, but Chicago's terrible. I think the Colts roll. Danny Dimes, Indiana Jones, whatever you want to call them. I think they get it done.
Indiana Jones. I'm going to go with the Colts minus the 6.5. I love Jonathan Taylor. I think this team should be undefeated. They really should have beat the Rams last week. Sure. So, Brendan?
I really want to pick Vegas, but I can't. I had such high hopes for them. I haven't really seen any improvement this year. I have to go with Daniel Jones and the Colts.
Danny Dimes. Okay,
Danny
Giants. Giants and Saints. The poor Saints. Poor
Lord.
Saints. But here's what's interesting. So as bad as the Saints are, and they have no, what do they have? One win? Did they beat somebody? What? No, right?
No.
They have no wins, and the Giants have a win, and the Giants go in there, and the Saints are -2.5. Can somebody help me understand why the New Orleans Saints are favored over anybody? Why?
I'll take this. Let me see if I can spin this right. I believe Spencer Rattler is 0-10 in professional starts in the NFL. Does that sound right?
Yes.
I certainly wouldn't doubt it.
He's got to win one, right? This is it right here. Saints are going to win on Sunday.
Vince, you stole my thunder because the Saints on Sunday, I got two best bets. The Saints are one of them.
Wow.
Minus the 2.5. Here's why. Okay. Jackson Dart, in my opinion, last week was in the right place at the right time. He only threw for 100 yards, right? So it's not like he lit the other team up like a pinball machine. He threw for 100 yards, and he threw for 111 yards. He didn't set the world on fire. Now the Giants got to go on the road. They got to play in the Superdome. This is a game that New Orleans can win, right? And if you follow the Saints, even when they're bad, there's always a team out there that they beat. They were already played four really good teams, Seattle, etc., Arizona, San Francisco. I mean, the Saints have had a tough schedule. I think they go home here, and I think they win this game. Now, Rattler has not won an NFL game, but he's been somewhat effective. And the Saints have been in some of these games, right? So my best bet of the day tomorrow, New Orleans -2.5. Matthew?
I'm glad we finally got chaos here. I'm all with the Giants. I don't even want the points. I want straight money line. I need my boy Mitch here. I love a QB with swagger, and Jackson Dart has loads of it. Cam Scatabo is, I think probably has CTE already, but he's a darn good running back. And Brian Burns, Kayvon Thibodeau, Dexter Lawrence, Abdul Carter against a dude that's never won a game. I like that D-line to get it done. I think the Giants roll.
Statler?
Both these teams suck, but I think the Giants suck a little less. So I'm going to go the Giants straight money line. Both these teams are awful.
All right. New Orleans, my best bet. Teams, except for Tennessee, teams don't go 0-17, right? They just don't. I think the last team to do that was
Cleveland.
Indianapolis, maybe 25 years ago or something. Tennessee is going to go 0-17.
Cleveland went 0-17 like
who?
7 years ago. Cleveland.
Cleveland?
Yep.
Yeah.
2017, I think it was.
It's tough to go 0-17, and that's why I like New Orleans here. So we got two of us picking the Saints, two of us picking the Giants. Dallas at Jets. Dallas -1.5. Oh my God, are the Jets ever going to win a game, Matthew?
I think so. I think last week they made a couple mistakes, turnovers. I'm not against Justin Fields. I do like what he's doing there. My favorite play of the week comes from this game. Garrett Wilson at 62.5 yards against that secondary. I'm all over that. And I like the Jets team total. I had it at 22.5 earlier, but I'd take the Jets to cover, but I prefer Garrett Wilson's yards, and then I like the team total as well. That Dallas defense is pathetic.
Go ahead, Vince.
Yeah, you know what? I kind of like Dallas. I really do. And I'm not a Dallas Cowboys fan by any stretch of the imagination, but I thought that was pretty impressive what they did this last week. Getting a tie was for them like getting a win, let's be honest. And I think it kind of wouldn't say it gave Jerry Jones any credibility, but at least I think it made him happy that, hey, at least Micah Parsons didn't come in and the Packers roll. But the Cowboys score enough points, no doubt about it. I think their defense is obviously a question mark, but I think they outscore the Jets. in the Meadowlands.
All right, so it looks like you're going with Dallas -1.5. Statler?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have to agree with Coach. I mean, if they could tie Green Bay, who was considered one of the best teams in football, surely they could run over the New York Jets, right? I'm taking Dallas in this one.
You know, it's so good. It's so glad that you guys have me on the show because you guys are making square bets. That's what I call square bets, right? I'm all over the Jets in this game. They're going to win this game. They're going to win this game at home, +2.5. I love the Jets here. They've played competitive football. You know, remember Dallas goes on the road. They get blown out by the Bears. All right, they had a couple good games. They had the tie. They played Philadelphia tight without one of their top defenders. But I got two bets. I got two best bets. Jets won. Saints is my best bet of the day. Love the Saints. Love the Jets. So you guys are making square bets. That's why you have me. Okay, thank you. Let's get to Denver at Philadelphia. Philadelphia -4.5. The Broncos going in there. Broncos this, Broncos that. How great they are. How great their defense is. How great Sean Payton is. The Broncos are great. Blah blah blah. Vince?
Yeah, I mean, if they're basing it on the Broncos blowing out an inferior Bengals team in Denver, then so be it. I think Philadelphia rolls in this game.
Brendan?
I agree 100%. I don't think this game is going to be close. It's in Philadelphia, and the Eagles look as good as they did last year. This team very well could repeat as Super Bowl champions. Eagles are going to roll the Broncos this one.
Lumsden?
Yeah, no, spot on. You got the 4-0 defending Super Bowl champs versus the other team. The only spread they've covered all year was against a team that West Virginia might be able to beat right now in the Bengals. I mean, come on. Philly -4.5 all day.
I agree with you 100%. And I'm so sick of there's two, and don't be offended here, Lumsden, but there's two tiring narratives in the NFL, and they're just boring. And one is Denver, and the other is the Patriots. These are boring, tiring narratives that go on forever. They don't make any sense. Denver is not that good.
No,
they come
not
in
at all.
here.
Not at
They
all.
come in here, they get crushed.
Yeah.
I love the Eagles here minus the 4.5. I think it'll go up. I think it'll go up to 5. But I tell you what, guys, I get my REM sleep. I had a great night's sleep last night, even though I went to bed at the halftime of the BYU game. I take my REM sleep. Listen, Vince, you know how important sleep is for your team, right? Sleep. Do not underestimate the power of sleep, especially as you get a little long in the tooth. So for you guys and gals out there, you got to get a good night's sleep. And the best thing to do is go to healthycell.com, healthycell.com. You know, I've been telling you about this forever and ever and ever because it is the best thing. It's all natural. Think about REM sleep is you take it 15 minutes before you go to bed. You pop it in, you tear it off, you down it, tastes great. And guess what? I got a news flash. You're going to go right to sleep. You're going to sleep through the night. Because it supports all 4 phases of sleep. Now, you're going to dream like crazy. I never remember them. I do know I dream. That means you're in that 4th phase of sleep. All you have to do, folks, is go to healthycell.com, healthycell.com, promo code Godzilla. Going to get 20% off your first order. Get your REM sleep. Now, while you're there, you can also get your bio multivitamins, which Ann and I take every day. It's in a gel pack, just like this. Tear it off, down it. Get all your vitamins, goes right into your system. You go to GNC, you get those vitamin pills in a bottle, you pee them out. They're a waste of money. They do nothing for you. Plus the casings in your stomach, that's gross. Take the gel, healthycell.com/Godzilla, promo code Godzilla, you get 20% off all their products. If you can only afford one, and these are not expensive, get the REM sleep because it's going to make a difference in your life. And we thank Healthy Cell. Another founding. We have all these founding sponsors, guys, on Godzilla Wins. I mean, do you know how rare this is in our business to have people that have been with us for 5 years? Very nice. So, Healthy
John, we
Cell,
need to get Healthy Cell to become the official nutrient of Taft College baseball.
You know
I
what?
need my boys to get their sleep.
I can do that. I can do
get
that.
their vitamins and minerals
I'm
in
gonna
them.
hook you. I'm gonna hook you guys up because when Joe was at West Virginia, he had his whole team taking it. It wasn't sanctioned by anybody, but he had Chase, my old roommates, and them taking it. And because in West Virginia, they actually monitor your sleep. They have to put those ankle bracelets on, and every night they knew how much sleepy. That's how important sleep is. So I'm going to hook you guys up. I'm going to hook you guys up with Dr. G and Papa. He'll love to talk to you, Vince. And
Healthy Cell got West Virginia to back-to-back super regionals. It's a game changer.
I know, right? I got to write this down. I got to, because I'll forget. Okay, Dr. G and Vince. It's a match made in heaven. I got that written down. HealthyCell.com. Promo code Godzilla 20% off. Okay. Another one of I got some favorite games. I'm gonna have a great weekend. I'm gonna win a lot of money this weekend. Miami at Carolina. Miami's -1.5. Let me just listen. I don't want to steal you guys' thunder. Matthew.
So 2 plays here. I like Tet McMillan over 58.5 yards. Miami secondary is terrible. Bryce Young forces it to him. Then I like Miami. I mean, I think the spread's a little low. It's the only 2 teams that the Patriots have beat, but Carolina's terrible. Miami's at least looked somewhat competitive the last 2 weeks. I like Miami to get it done.
Vince?
This is a snoozer, this game. But I don't have confidence. Has Miami proven they can play good in back-to-back games? I'll give them credit. Last game, they got the W. I'm not sold on them. Not that I'm sold on Carolina, obviously, but if I were to lean anyway on this, I'm going Carolina just out of Miami's lack of consistency, so to speak.
Brendan.
The Dolphins are by far the most dysfunctional team in the NFL this year. That being said, Carolina is so bad. I don't even know if Miami's bad enough to lose to Carolina, but the coach said it perfect. This is a snooze fest. Nobody cares about this game, but I'm gonna take Miami, I guess. Both these teams are terrible.
I care about it because this is my second best bet of the day. My third best bet. I got 3 best bets, and this is one of them. So I care about this game, and I love. You ready? I love the Panthers at home.
Oh, wow.
I love they are going to run the ball. The whole Miami defensive line is a bunch of gutless wonders, right? I mean, this team is completely dysfunctional, and Carolina can run the ball. Look, the game last week was misleading, right? I mean, they gave up 2 touchdowns on block punts or return touchdowns or something. And I'm not a Bryce Young fan. I think he's still got a long way to go. But they played a better schedule. They're more physical. They have something that you can build on. If I was a Carolina fan right now, I would not be like pulling my hair out, right? They have a base to build on. They're a very tough, very physical team. I think they're going to run the ball down Miami's throat. And Miami, I'm going to say this again. You watch their D-line. It's a bunch of gutless wonders. You can't bet this team. There's something wrong with this team. There's something wrong with McDaniel, going around with that skinny little shorts he's got, whatever he does. The whole thing is just ridiculous. I love Carolina in this game. They're gonna win this game. And what am I getting? 1.5. I'm gonna take that. My second best bet, Panthers plus 1.5. Okay. You guys are all wrong on it. Let's get to or except Vince picked Carolina.
I got the Carolina Panthers.
Yeah, Vince picked Carolina. Vince and I are on the same. It's interesting that Vince and I are on the same side in all these.
That might be bad news for you, though, John, if we're picking the same. So
no, because look, you picked you told me to bet the 49ers and take the 8.5, but I'm too stupid to have a day job. Let's get to Houston at Baltimore. Oh my God, Houston is a 2.5-point favorite. They got 1 win. They beat the Titans. They got 1 win. They beat the Titans. They go to Baltimore. People picked them to win the Super Bowl. Everybody's hurt. And the Texans go in there as a favorite. What the hell is going on, Matthew Lumsden?
It's the worst O-line in the league versus Cooper Rush. This one's going to be right there with Miami and Carolina for not on my TV. But, I'm going to sit that one out. I do like Woody Marks to get 70 total yards, the rookie running back in Houston. I think he's getting increased playing time. He looks pretty good. That Baltimore defense is terrible, but I got nothing in terms of picking a team.
Vince?
So how many points is Lamar Jackson worth on the line?
You got to think at least 8 on this one, right?
Yeah,
They would
I
be at
think
least
so,
6
right?
and a half.
If Lamar Jackson's at quarterback, the Ravens are probably at least a 7-point favorite, right?
Minimum,
It's
maybe
a 10.
10.
They're giving him a 10-point differential.
I've never seen such a
Me
swing.
either.
I don't think Tom Brady was worth that many points in a game.
Or Joe Namath.
Yeah, I mean, this is crazy. Boy, another. I'm going to go with Houston. I'm going to go with Houston. Reluctantly.
So Statler, what do you think if Houston wins this game? What does Baltimore drop to? 1-5?
1-4, I believe. At that
1-4.
Are they 1-4? I can't remember if they're 1-4 already, but anyway, regardless, whatever they are, Baltimore is in trouble. And as a Pittsburgh Steeler fan, I absolutely love it. Love it so much. I'm probably not going to put any money on this game because I don't know how I feel about Houston, but I will be cheering for them nevertheless.
I don't know, guys. I mean, the Ravens, what is going on? And I know Jackson's out. Who's their backup quarterback?
Cooper
Matthew?
Rush.
Cooper Rush.
He used to be
But
the
didn't he win a bunch of games with
Mhm.
Dallas
Yeah.
when Dak was out?
He did. Then the other
right.
time that Dak was out, he struggled. So
As banged up as they are, I can't see the Ravens losing this game at home and being 1-4. I just can't see it. I don't see it. I think I'm going to take the 2.5. The Texans suck, right? They stink. You know that as bad that, and the Titans are not even a professional football franchise. We're going to get to that. My rant on them in a minute. But the Titans were actually in that game in the third quarter. They were in the game. If they don't miss 2 field goals, both of the Sly should have made them. They start the fourth quarter 6-6. So the Texans suck. And so to the fact that you think they're going to go into Baltimore and the Ravens just lay down and basically their season's over? No. Cooper Rush, I know they're hurt. I'm going with the Ravens, and I'm going to take the 2.5. Not going to happen. Okay. That gets us to, here's a fun game, guys. You ready? Fasten your seatbelts, right? Talk about there's something else on TV like Gilligan's Island or something. Tennessee at Arizona. Arizona minus 7.5. Now, here's my question. Why are they not minus 15? Tennessee, they've scored. Okay, you ready? For 4 games, you ready? They've scored 1 touchdown in 4 games. 1 touchdown. They have been in the red zone 4 times in 4 games. So let me see. You get in the red zone once a game, and 25% of the time you score a touchdown. And you're playing against one of the most prolific offenses in the NFL, and they're only 7.5 at home, and you got to fly across the country and you suck. Why is this game? If you don't bet Arizona and lay the 7.5, they are giving you money. They're saying, here's what Vegas is saying. Here's a pile of money, and we like you to have it on the goodness of our heart. This is going to be the best bet in history. Tennessee is going to get crushed. This game is going to be 38-10. Vince?
I thought you created a rule 3 weeks ago, John, where you said you cannot bet against your favorite team.
Can't do it here. This is not this franchise. This is the most pathetically run franchise right now in professional athletics, including who's ever in the Canadian Football League. This is like if you take the San Jose Sharks in the hockey league, okay, that I would put their whole executive team and I just put them in there. This is a pathetically run franchise. They have no plan. They have no future. They're going to go 0-17, and this game is going to be a blowout. Watching this team play on Sunday, you can't watch them. It is that painful. And I love Cam Ward. I think he's got a future, but this team is at least a season away. They need a complete new roster. It's pathetic. You got Calvin Ridley dropping balls all over the place. You can't watch this team. And then
Well,
they collapsed
you know
in
what,
the
John?
fourth
The
quarter.
Montreal Alouettes of the CFL are a very poorly run organization as well, too. So
I'll trade their executive team. Give me all
But
their guys.
yeah, I
Put
agree,
them in
John.
Tennessee.
I
I'll take them.
agree. You got to go Arizona Cardinals here, even though they lost their good running back Connor 2 weeks ago, and their loss to the 49ers. So it's kind of puts a little more pressure on Kyler. But yeah, I think I agree. Cardinals roll in this one.
Statler.
John, I agree with your entire rant there. It's been a rough year for Tennessee, and it's going to continue to be a rough year. There's no way you cannot bet the Cardinals. This is the easiest bet by far that we've had.
Matthew.
Yeah, no, I questioned your hatred for Tennessee before last week because I told you Houston sucks, but I got two plays. Trent McBride's going to go over, I think it was 63.5 yards. And then, John, if you'd like to announce my second play for me, I think we all know what it is.
Go ahead, announce it.
Oh, it's going to be Arizona minus 7.5 without any questions.
I mean, I can't believe they're 7.5. And the problem is when they get to the fourth quarter, they don't have any depth, and the defense has been on the field. We get so many 3-and-outs. You get to the fourth quarter, the defense is gassed. So right now, if you look at the Tennessee in the fourth quarter this season, they've been outscored 58-0. I mean, they get to the fourth quarter, they're gassed. This thing is going to be ugly. Ugly. Okay, Tampa Bay at Seattle. Great game. Seattle minus 4.5. Man, Tampa Bay's tough. Seattle's tough. Vince, you're out there. What do you think?
Yeah, this might be the game of the week. It really could. And who would have had that, a month ago? There's something about Baker Mayfield. There really is. You love him or hate him, but the dude knows how to win. He knows how to win, but going to Seattle is no easy task. And boy, good game. This is going to be a fun game to watch, but boy, I don't think I just from a money standpoint, betting on this game, very difficult for me. If I were to lean one way, maybe Tampa Bay because they're getting 4.5. Other than that, I'll just sit back and enjoy watching this game.
Wow. I'm going to take Tampa Bay 4.5 because this is another one. I had a college game like this. I think it was Florida State, right? This is a game you sit back and enjoy it. And when you want to enjoy the game, you take the wood. The Baker Mayfield's going to be running around in the fourth quarter, completing passes. I mean, if you saw, he almost came back last week against, I forget who they were what was that? The Eagles, right? I mean, I bet Tampa Bay. We threw an interception there at the end. Then he got a first down. Then he threw another interception. It's just the guy is a playmaker. He's exciting. Tampa Bay's exciting. Seattle's a good team. I think this is a great game to watch. When you're sitting there with a beer watching the game, take the points. You're just going to have fun. So I'm going to take 4.5 for Tampa Bay. Matthew?
Yeah, no, I like Tampa's run D. I think this is going to be a really good game. I don't see either team really running away with it, so I'm going to take the points with Tampa.
What do you think, Brendan?
Yeah, I'm going to agree the points with Tampa. This feels like it's going to be a game where it's a last-second field goal.
Right.
It feels like that it's building to that. I mean, and this game really could go one way or the other. These are two really good teams, but I like Tampa 4.5.
It's going to be fun. It's going to be a fun game, and I do the same thing. Okay, this segment is brought to you by our great friends at DraftKings. All you got to do is go to DraftKings.com, download their free app, put it on your phone, put it on your mobile device, put it on your iPad, whatever you want. Bet $5. You got $5, right? Come on, man. It's like you can't get a cup of coffee at the Sunoco station for under $5. You know you got $5. You put $5 in, you bet it. You can bet any of our teams. You can bet parlay, over under, props. You get immediate $200. If you're a new player, get immediate $200 in bonus bets. You have to use them, I think, within 7 days. And that's all you have to do. You put $5 in. But here's the most important thing. You can only do this with promo code Godzilla. Even when you put that promo code in, here it is here. Godzilla Cup, right? That promo code will bring you instant luck just by typing it in. So download their app, put in promo code Godzilla, put in $5, going to get $200 in free bets instantly with promo code Godzilla on DraftKings. And then you can play around with that. So $5 gets you $205. You can look, if you're smart, you take Matthew's bets and you can turn that $205 into, I don't know, a couple thousand, right? Because of Matthew, because he's so good at what he does. Or you take my bets and you fade me, and then you're a guaranteed winner. Either way, you're good to go. DraftKings.com, download their app, promo code Godzilla, you're good. And don't forget, if you or someone you know has a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. That's 1-800-GAMBLER. And guys, we thank you for that. Detroit at Cincinnati. Detroit minus 10.5. Matthew.
Yeah, so this was my survivor play of the week. You're talking about that earlier. I've got Detroit minus 10.5. I've got the team total over 30.5. And I think I even did like a quarter unit on minus 20.5. It was like plus 275 earlier in the week. I think this one's ugly. I mean, Cincinnati's incompetent. I think Detroit rolls.
Ugly. Brendan.
I have to agree with Matthew. This is going to be an ugly game for Cincinnati. The defense is terrible. The offense has basically nothing to work with. Detroit, easy. 10.5's easy.
Vince?
You know, Detroit and head coach Dan Campbell, they kind of remind me of the Ole Miss version of pro football. When they get you down, they're going to put their foot on your throat.
Oh, yeah.
And the Lions are going to lay a beat down on Cincinnati. Take the Lions.
Who's that leave? Me?
Yep.
That's you.
I mean, how can you sit there and bet Cincinnati? They have no defense. They have no quarterback. They're going to finish, last in that division. Or they're battling it out with Cleveland, right?
And Baltimore.
And Baltimore.
It's great to be a Steeler fan right now.
I mean, what is up with that, right? What is up with the Steelers? The Steelers are going to win this division. You guys were, at the beginning of the season, you guys were all wringing your hands, and right? Remember I picked the Steelers to go to the Super Bowl? You all made fun of me, right? Remember that? Remember that?
Hey, we all had the AFC North, the toughest division in football, right?
You all made fun of me when I told you the Steelers were going to the Super Bowl. You all mocked me, and they're going to win the division. It's not even going to be close. I mean, did you ever think as a Steeler fan you'd be sitting here, sitting atop the division, and everybody else got a losing record after 5 games?
No, Baltimore was the biggest surprise for sure.
Yeah. So, look, I mean, you can't bet. You just can't bet the Bengals. I know Tom Dickman, one of my best friends in the world, the mentors, is tuned in. He's a Bengals fan. Tom, I love you to death, but you guys are, there's just you just give up on the season. And then it's easier. Like I've just given up. It's just easier. It's just easier. You tune out, and then you start rooting for your team to lose to get a higher draft pick. Like I want. Here's what I want. I want Tennessee to go 0-17. I want to have Amy embarrassed because she should be. The whole city should be embarrassed. They should be. I want to get another first-round pick. I want to take all the veterans, trade them away for picks, get a new GM, get a new coach, and start over. And then maybe, by the time how am I, 67? Maybe when I'm 70, they'll be a 500 team. But that's kind of what you're faced with now. You just got to fold your tent and realize you sucked. So, Tom, I'm sorry. You guys are horrible. We're all laying the 10.5 with
And John, how soon before the Bengals start shopping around their edge rusher, Hendrickson?
Yeah.
He's in a contract year. I hear the
weeks.
49ers are online too, needing an edge rusher.
With no Bosa, that'd be a great fit.
Yep.
2 weeks.
That'd be scary. That'd be scary.
I mean, when you're in this situation and you're in this kind of a rebuild, but the difference is with the Bengals, they have Joe Burrow. He'll come back. They have a good GM. They have a good coach. They have things that are good. Tennessee doesn't have anything good. They don't have an NFL coach. They don't have an NFL general manager. And Amy has meddled in this team to such an extent she's destroyed the franchise. So, it's just a sad state of affairs. Okay. Washington goes to Chargers. Chargers kind of shocking losing that game last week. Washington goes across the country. They go to play the Chargers. Jalen Daniels is back. LA minus 3.5. Let's start with Matthew Lumsden.
Yeah, don't have a ton of interest in this one. Obviously, don't know what Jaden Daniels is quite going to look like after 2 weeks off. Los Angeles laid a dud. I would go with the Chargers at home at 3.5. I do think they're the better team. I think Harbaugh is the better coach, but I mean, I don't say that with much confidence.
Statler?
I like the Chargers in this one, but I think that this is going to be a very close game. I think the Chargers rebound after their loss last week to New York, but I think Jaden Daniels is going to come back and ball out too. I think it's going to be a close game, but I'm taking the Chargers.
Old ball coach.
Yeah, I like the Chargers. They were my preseason choice coming out of the AFC. But boy, it's 3.5, correct? Is it still 3.5?
Yeah.
That half a point scares me because this looks like a field goal type game within 3 points. But with that said, we're going to go Chargers.
Why don't you guys give Washington any respect?
I think the Chargers.
Well, they're going to keep it within 3 points.
It's down to 2.5 now. It's down to 2.5.
I said it was
You
going to be
you don't
close.
give. This is a team that came within 3 fumbles in the second half of going to the Super Bowl. They don't fumble the ball 3 times driving. They beat the Eagles and they go to the Super Bowl, and they're better this year than they were last year. You guys don't give them any respect. I give this team respect. They have a good defense. They have good receivers. I love Jalen Daniels. They went on the road, and it's just it's shameful that you guys disrespect Washington to the extent you do week in and week out. And so I don't want you to be embarrassed, but I'm going to call all 3 as out. I love Washington here. I think they go in there, and I think they win this game because they're a really good football team. And, yeah, they've had some injuries, and obviously they're not going to be the same without Jalen Daniels. So he's back. That's why it's down to 2.5. And, you got Scary Terry, whatever, but they play good defense. Ernst is hurt. That's not a good thing. But this is just an underrated football team. And this team, here's the thing. They went on the road. So I love Washington here. I'm going to take the 3 or the 2.5, whatever it is. I'm going to take that. Okay.
John, nobody has disrespected Washington to anyone more than the person that gave him that ridiculous name.
I can't argue with that. That is a ridiculous name. In the words of President Trump, who said to me in public in the Oval Office, "What the hell's this about this Commanders? What is that?" He's right.
Terrible.
Okay, we'll forget that for a second. I'm going to go with Washington. Now, Sunday night, Matthew, here's your team. They go to Buffalo, right? Buffalo didn't cover last week. They go to Buffalo. They got a big win. They beat Carolina. They got Vrabel. They got all their talk. They're the toast of the town. The Red Sox are gone. The Bruins haven't started yet. The Celtics haven't started. That's the only game in town is your team. Everybody's talking about them, right? Everybody's saying how great Vrabel is, how great they are. Round. So here they are. They go to Buffalo. They're plus 8.5. You're a fan. Come on, Matthew.
Yeah. Sunday night, I'm going to be locked in. I'm going to be wearing my Drake May jersey. And we have the good, the bad, and the ugly for this game. The good, I like Drake May to throw for 220.5 yards. I like that. The bad, we're playing the best player in the NFL in Buffalo. And the ugly is probably going to be the scoreboard. I think the Bills roll. I think it's going to be rough. I think Josh Allen's going to have his way. Christian Gonzalez has made the defense look a little better. But 8.5, come on, man. In Buffalo, Josh Allen in that roster versus the Patriots. I like May to get his yards because, we're going to be down the whole game. But no, Buffalo minus 8.5. That's criminal. This should be 10.5 at least, probably 13.5.
I like the May bet because they're going to be behind. So he's got.
Oh, they're going to be behind. He's looked good. I will say the only upside in this organization is Drake May's looked a lot better this year. He's looked the part, and there's not much talent around him, so that's good to see. But yeah, I like his yards. Outside of that, Buffalo's rolling.
Vince.
Sunday night in America. Josh Allen, prime time. Bills
Good luck.
Mafia.
Good luck.
Bills in a blowout.
Okay. Brendan Stout.
I mean, do I even need to say it? Bills in a blowout. I mean, no offense, Matthew, but
No,
yeah.
no, I see it coming. I'm gonna bet on that, to be honest, as painful as it is.
Yeah, it's
Bills in a blowout, especially after last week where they didn't cover. And I love the Bills here in a blowout. So we're all over the Bills minus the 8.5. Okay, then this is kind of a fun game on Monday night. This is a fun game. I don't discount this game. Kansas City starting to win now. They go to Jacksonville, who's actually playing better. And Jacksonville's playing a little bit better than they were. And you got Trevor Lawrence. And it's a letdown game for the Chiefs, right? They had the big win Sunday. Definitely a letdown game. Chiefs going to Jacksonville. They're only minus 3.5. That, you look at that like, yeah, Jacksonville. I mean, the Chiefs, they're starting to win again. They got the 2 wins in a row. They're only minus 3.5. What do you think? Let's go to Vince.
Yeah, I got a chance, obviously, last week when Jacksonville took down my Niners. The thing with Jacksonville, golly, they are winning the turnover battle big time. I mean, it's eye-popping. In the game against the Niners, 49ers turned the ball over 4 times, and the Jaguars were clean. And that's, really, you think about it, that's football, isn't it? You win the turnover battle, you win games. And can they keep this going? I think they can. I think the Jaguars, they're a surprise team this year, and they're obviously in a winnable division. And Travis Etienne, I tell you, he's a heck of a running back, man. He's as good as there is in the NFL, and that's taking a little bit of pressure off of Trevor Lawrence. So I'm looking Jaguars going to take down the Chiefs.
Wow.
On Monday Night Football.
A bold prediction, Matthew.
Outright.
Yeah,
outright.
I'm on the flip side here. I watched that game pretty in depth. I think the Breece Hall comment last week would be very applicable for the 49ers. Some teams shoot themselves in the foot. The 49ers shot themselves in the head. I mean, they blew that game 7 different times. It was awful. Kansas City, I think, could be a letdown, but they're 2-2. You got to keep in mind they're not leading the division. Finally going to get Rashee Rice back here in a little bit, and Patrick Mahomes looks like he might be back clicking. I think Kansas City rolls. I don't trust Trevor Lawrence at all, former Clemson guy. I don't see him winning a game in a primetime matchup against a team that's won 2 of the last 3 Super Bowls. I'm going Kansas City. I think they get it done.
Brendan?
Coach, I hope your pick's right, but I do not see it. I would love nothing more than see Jacksonville beat the Chiefs, but I just do not see it. I'm picking Kansas City in this one.
It's tough to bet against the Chiefs with
really
on a Monday night when they're 2-2. This would be different if they were 3-1 or 4-0. Maybe there's a little bit of letdown coming. They go to Jacksonville. Maybe they get off to a slow start. They got to win these games. I mean, they got to win these games. They're in a tough division. The Chargers are going to keep winning. They got to win these games. Denver's going to, Denver's tough. So I like the Chiefs here minus the 3.5. Okay, let's have a recap on our best bets. You guys, we each get 2 best bets a day. Let's start with Matthew.
I'm going to go Texas Tech today, minus 11.
Nope, you got to go NFL.
No, just NFL. Let's go Garrett Wilson over 62.5 yards, and then we got to pick on your boys out there in Tennessee. I mean, I'm going to go Arizona, and I'm going to go Detroit. I'll give 3. Those ones are right there with each other.
Vince?
Well, I was going to go Bama, but we'll go my number 1 pick, Philly, and my next pick would be Detroit.
Yeah.
Brendan?
I'm going to go Dallas over the Jets and Houston over those dirty Ratbirds.
Oof.
Minus the 2.5. All right, I got 3 winners for you guys. Carolina at home, minus 1.5 over the Dolphins. That's my number 1 best bet. Number 2, New Orleans over the Giants. And number 3, I hate to do this and bet against my team, but the Titans are a pathetic franchise. And on the road, I don't think they've won a game. I can't remember the last game they stayed in on the road. So we're going to go with Arizona minus 7.5. That's my 3 best bets. And we'll get out. We got a minute. Here's what we're going to get out with. Super Bowl, Bad Bunny, halftime.
Ugh.
Statler, what do you think? Minute and a half.
I don't think you want my opinion on that, John. The only person that would have been worse is if they would have picked Taylor Swift. They never pick anybody good for the halftime show. I hate it.
Vince?
Why can't we bring in some legendary country music artists? George Strait, bring in some Alan Jackson. I read the other day it's been over almost 30 years since a country artist was a headliner at the Super Bowl. Oh, well, there you go.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. Give me some Chattahoochee at halftime. I mean, Bad Bunny canceled his American tour because he's worried about ICE. I don't understand a single word he's saying. From what I've seen, the translations aren't the most PG friendly thing. The NFL whiffed hard on that. They're lucky that I like their teams.
I have this show and I watch football and baseball when the Astros are playing to escape politics. I want to escape. I do it all day. Okay, you guys have no idea. I do, from the minute I go to bed to the minute I get up, I do politics 5 days a week, all day, especially here at the White House. I put a football game on. I want to escape. As soon as the show's over, I'm going to go watch college football. I want to escape. I don't want to be reminded of anything political. I'll do that Monday, right? So I think it was an absurd choice. I don't know what the hell's going on with Goodell. It's asinine as far as I'm concerned. The guy's a communist. The whole thing is just stupid, and just keep politics out of athletics. We watch it for entertainment, our teams to escape, and when you jam it up our butt, you just recoil. I don't want it. Anyway, good to have you guys with us. Let's hope our best bets wins. Thank you for tuning into Godzilla Wins. Thank you to our sponsors. Thank you for Jack for putting this great rundown together. Thank you for our team, and I will see you bright and early, 6 a.m. on Monday Eastern Time on the John Fredericks Media Network. Jay Delsing in Golf right now.